do PR and social media. So you can't buy respect.
Yep.
You can't buy trust. You have to earn it. So if you go out and spend $20,000 on an advertising campaign, it doesn't mean that your audiences are going to respect you or trust you anymore. It just might mean they know you. But for them to actually get them across the line, to actually buy your products and services, they have to respect you and trust you. And when you're using PR and social media, that is what you're doing. You're building that trust. And we all know that people buy from brands and organizations that they trust. So that's what you're doing every time. You're doing some PR and you're doing some social media. You're building up that trust little by little to the point that they are actually ready to buy from you. And so what you're doing is you're building awareness of your brand. So it's who you are, what you stand for, why people would buy from you. So you're creating those conversations and sharing those stories that over time people will be able to know exactly who you are, what you stand for, and why they should buy from you. So, it's a lot of text on this page, but it's all really critical. These are some of the things that PR and social media does for your business. Reputation. So it's building and actively managing your reputation in your area of expertise. And that's really critical. Thinking about what do you want to be known and respected for. Positioning. It's so critical for positioning. So you start becoming the go-to source in your industry. So journalists immediately identify you as an expert in your industry. Colleagues immediately see your name, see your organisation, and they go, I know, they're great at what they do because I've read articles, I've seen them on Twitter. So you're positioning yourself. The obvious one is profile. You're raising your profile. And the more that you raise your profile, the more you're going to sell. Networking, particularly in social media, is so powerful. So you're creating networks around your brand, and those people are your potential customers, they're your advocates, they're people that evangelize your brand. So the more networks you build, the more, so it's not you going out and selling, you actually have a whole band of people who are actually raving about your brand. And so the more people that you can create and build into your networks, the better. So people standing up, there's a couple of seats down here if you don't want to stand for 45 minutes. Are you happy to stand? The next is connecting. Obviously you've got lots of, not just customers and potential customers, you've got stakeholders. And those people can actually give reviews and feedback on your products and services. And that's really critical because without that feedback, you're not going to be developing better products and services. Obviously trends, and this is really critical in public relations because you're going to be using what trends are happening in your industry, put your little spin on it, and then pitch that to the journalist. So if you're on social media and using it really well, and if you're reading the newspapers and the magazines that are in your industry, you're going to know what trends are happening, and you're going to be the people who are at the top of that trend. And that's where you want to position yourself. The next is stories. So we all have stories to tell, and I'm going to spend a bit of time on this later in my presentation with you today. It's about how you actually can build and draw out stories that are in your business and pitch those to the journalists. Every single business has amazing stories to tell. You just have to unpack them and find them. And finally, obviously, public relations and social media is about lead generation as well. And you can put tactics in place that you can use social media to develop mailing lists, develop potential people that you can do business with.